Bro, what the fuck? Whoa!
Yeah. Babe. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love the lie. Been chillin' with all the bros, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the suds is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle love without the trusting. Yeah, I can see the top, I wanna touch it. Yeah, we been getting money, no discussion. Now I don't let it top, and shorty always get the fussing. Yeah, hey, I like to cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on them. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on them. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on them. Yeah, and I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the ride to end. Yeah, right. To the nice end, yeah, to the nice end. I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Something Brody couldn't stand for, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the edge of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just gained a lot of love on the west side. I'm the GOAT, but I would never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like I'm Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe doing, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe doing, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good and it's the best side. I remember.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. My name is Tycho. I'm here with McDilly, the Wanderer, and Snoop Luke today. Happy to be with everybody. Finally back again, all four of us. It comes and goes, but we have the Wanderer back. Everyone is returned from their respectful trips. Jesse was the last one remaining, but we have him back now, and so we have everybody. So how you guys doing today? How we feeling on this gloomy Michigan Saturday?
I'm good now.
I'm a little tired, can't lie.
Show sucks.
Why are you so tired, Luke? You balling last night? You bowling? What are you doing?
Nah, I was napping hard.
Napping and then sleeping and then napping?
Yeah.
You're a busy man.
Like
Dylan, how's work?
Long, and now I gotta do this podcast and then go back right into the heat. So if you're outside today and you're thinking about maybe saying a prayer to God about it raining, do it, please. It will help. I need it to rain today a lot. Yesterday kicked my ass. I'm not gonna lie, man. So
stay hydrated.
Hey, maybe you got a haircut and we get a little cooler outside.
No, that's bullshit. There was a kid who worked with me with a buzz cut who was sweating more than I was.
No, you could just see the sweat on him. Yours was
Dylan, just go and wet your shirt down with cold water, then put it back on and go outside.
I normally I was consistently just putting ice cubes on the back of my neck, and that was working.
Better bring a lot of ice cubes. And it does look like it's gonna rain, but
it's not gonna rain anymore today.
It might not rain.
It might or it might not. That's why I need it too.
It's Michigan. It's up in the air all the time. But we got some stuff to talk about today. We got some sports to get into. We got UFC taking place tonight in London. We got the MLB coming back. We got some new jerseys in the NFL. We have Tkachuk fucking being traded, and it wasn't to Detroit, but we're going to tell you where he went. And we also have some NBA news with a quick update on the Miles Bridges situation, which is no bueno. So without further ado, we'll get right into it. Thank you for watching Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode 50. So we're going to start off with the MLB update, starting with a complete and utter routing of the Boston Red Sox, who were dismantled at their home field last night, and it was brutal. So let's start with that, and just Dylan, tell me about what the hell went down here. You got to know something about why this turned into what it did.
This was probably I don't want to say the worst baseball game this year, but in terms of the Red Sox pitching, it was the worst game all year because not only was the pitching bad, but the defense didn't help them because there was an inside the park grand slam that made it 10-0, and the ball essentially didn't leave the park. The man didn't get hurt. He didn't dive or anything. He stood there like this, watched it go over his head, and then he didn't move. He kind of just was like, oh, well, the right fielder should fucking get behind me now, and he should get that center field ball. And I'm not going to move. And then fucking right fielder's got to run all the way over by the time he gets the ball.
Dylan, be honest, though. Tell me what the fuck you wanted him to do after he realized
run
the ball
to the
was...
ball! Look like
there was someone already at the ball, dumb
Dylan.
fuck.
Look like
Dylan,
you give a fuck.
He was already there.
You know what you don't do? This.
Okay, well, I mean, he would be running for no reason because his
He would
teammate's
run to
already
the ball.
there
His
to the
teammate
ball.
would pick it up.
It was a really
I
bad
literally
ball on
told-
his part.
Hey, Dylan, I talked about this with Ty. I was like, it is so unfortunate that he had to just absolutely sit there and look stupider because his teammate was running in and was closer to the ball and was getting the ball before him after he missed it. Or more stupid.
Yeah,
it was super unfortunate, but I think that there's nothing else he could have done other than fucking sit down.
It was
Run
never
to the
supposed
ball.
Take a seat. There's no reason to run to the ball when your left and right fielder are both already there.
I was like,
You clearly fucking
The last
clearly
thing
fucked
you should do
everything
is
up.
just stand there because it didn't look good.
I mean, there's really not much else.
I
he
don't
could
think
do.
there's anything else he could have done. I think he'd look more dumb if he
could have walked off
sprinted.
the field, which is what he should have done.
After the fact that he
You
missed
should have
it,
started with that.
it was just already locked in. He just had to eat it and take it on the chin. There's really nothing he could have done.
And coach should have took him out of the game and said he has.
It shouldn't have went over his head. He just stood there.
Well,
That's
the
what
coach
I'm
couldn't take
saying.
the whole team out of the game, but he probably should have.
No, the what do you?
Well, I
call
mean,
it?
I can understand it going over your head
Crickets.
if you don't see the ball, but you are a professional baseball player and you need to have your eye on the fucking ball.
Exactly. You need to learn. I get it when you get it lost in the sun or it's like a couple feet away, but that bitch was like 40
That was a
feet
moonshot.
over his head.
That was a
not even
moonshot.
close.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of
Uh-oh.
MLB is like it shows them like not seeing the ball. The ball's always like very far away.
Yeah, that's true. But the biggest headline is the fact that fucking Tapia, the leadoff hitter for the Blue Jays, had 9 at-bats in the game, which means that they were hitting around a lot of times. When you
That's
score
fucking
58 runs, when you have over 40 hits in a ball game, when you're over-under at one point is 33.5.
Which they did not hit. They got to 33.
No, they didn't. But people are going to get hits, and I think that the best part is that while the score was 23-2, somebody proposed in Fenway. Like they do the proposals.
If there was ever a
was
worse game
23-2.
to propose at, I don't think there was one.
I also find it crazy.
I also cringe at those proposals, but
I also find it crazy that they scored on 28 of 29 hits.
It's crazy, bro. They didn't even get like
28 of
40 hits.
29 hits were RBIs. At least mean almost every hit they had was an RBI.
There was only one hit they had that didn't score.
That's actually insane. But yeah, Boston now has a run differential of -47 in their last 3 games, which is the worst over any 3-game span since 1900. Because let's not forget, they also got beat 2 games ago, 14-1 by the Yankees. So they've just been getting routed recently, and it's bad. But one guy that doesn't get routed, this guy,
Yeah,
Shohei Ohtani. back at it, not getting routed with 11 Ks in his most recent pitching performance. Dylan, did they win this game? They were 6-0 with Ohtani pitching their last however many games. Are they 7-0?
I was focused more on the stat line, and then when Ohtani got taken out of the game, I stopped watching, so I have to go do
They lost.
fact check right now. And
They lost?
If
They
that
lost.
was Friday night or was it Thursday?
I don't know. Dylan's a baseball guy, and he just seems to know nothing about
8-1.
baseball right now.
Oh my god!
8-1.
I'm so fucking pissed. They
And,
took out Ohtani next inning. Braves get 7 runs. They lose 8.
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
Was 1-1. Take out Ohtani. 7 runs next inning. They lose 8-1. Sounds about fucking right. Sounds about fucking right. I went into my argument last podcast. I can't fucking say it verbatim, but if you watch the last podcast, you know exactly how I feel about the Los Angeles Angels right now. Holy fuck.
Nigga, it's
Did
ugly.
you watch that, Jesse? Did you see the last pod?
I understand your pain now.
Yeah. It's strictly the fact that you're going to watch 2 of the best players in baseball get wasted away by an organization that's never going to make them more than a wild card.
Yep.
And it's fucking annoying, bro, because I want to watch the best players in baseball be in good teams. I don't want to watch them get wasted away sitting in the fucking Angels.
know, right?
They're on the wrong LA team. They're on the LA team that can't win. They need to go to the other LA team that already won a ring with Dave Roberts already promising the fucking second one. But we'll go over to Juan Soto. We'll go over to the drama with Juan Soto because I got something that I just found out that is absolutely unfucking believable. So Juan Soto, the man who won the home run derby, might I remind you, his agent confirmed that the Washington Nationals refused to charter him a flight to the home run derby after he rejected their contract offer. So Soto flew commercial, arrived in LA at 1:30 a.m., and then won the entire derby.
Yep.
The Nationals are being petty, and they're being cocks, and I would immediately get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. And you know what I love? I love that the Nationals are surprised that Soto doesn't want to be there for 15 more years. That's the best part. Why the fuck would he want to be there for 15 more years? Soto realized that 2019 World Series is the best thing you guys are going to get for the next however long. I'm sorry. And that shit was still a miracle that you got there.
Hey, Soto should be gone, but I don't think anyone's going to want to trade for him. The way the Nationals are acting, they can literally just wait till he goes into free agency.
I think he's going to go to the Mets.
But it'd have to be after August
Yes, I agree. But I think he's going to go to the Mets.
because of the prospects.
Yep. The Mets have the prospects, the Mets have the money, and the Mets are the team that are most likely to fuck up the second half of the season. So they're probably going to want to get somebody to make sure that doesn't happen. I think if anyone is going to go on a downfall and, like, it's just expected, it's not going to be the Yankees right now. And it's not going to be the Dodgers. And if you really just look at it, I could see it being the Mets. So sometimes the Mets just met, and that's what happens. But the MLB trade deadline starts on August 2nd, so we're getting into the trade season, I would say right now, until that fucking happens. And it kicked off with Daniel Vogelbach, the big boy, the Pirates designated hitter 2019 All-Star, is now heading to Queens. He's going to the Mets. He is probably going to go in there, not be an everyday player. He will probably be, I don't want to say an every other day player, but he's just going to be a guy where they're going to put him in off the bench to sub in for a pitcher, pinch hit homers. That's what he's going to be essentially known for. You bring him in 7th, 8th, and I think he'll hit a couple bombs. I think that's what he's going to be. He's still young. I think that the problem with Vogelbach is his strikeout rate is so bad. That's the only thing that it's really not good. But, I mean,
He's
hey,
swinging
maybe,
for the hills every time.
what?
He's swinging for the hills every time. If you're doing that, sometimes you're going to strike out, and you're going to do it a lot. Not
Exactly.
everyone can do it.
But maybe there's a different hitting instructor over in New York that isn't with the Pirates that we can, maybe fix this because I don't know. All I'm saying is Vogelbach's been in the league for 4 years, and I believe this is now his 4th different team. So I don't think that's really a good thing.
Sorry out here.
But another man that I want to bring up is Trevor Rosenthal, because for those of you who don't know, at one point he was one of the best closers in the game, one of the best relief pitchers in all of baseball. And then, sadly, Tommy John happened. And the year after that, which was last year, a hip injury happened. So he really hasn't pitched in 2 years. And he could be good still, or he could be horrible. But the reason why this is interesting is because he just got signed to the Giants. So the Giants got him on a 1-year, $4.5 million deal. Now, this could end up being a steal if Rosenthal is even 70% of what he used to be, because the Giants are already in a situation where they don't need bullpen help, in my opinion. I think they already have a very solid bullpen. So I think Rosenthal is somebody that if he comes in and he starts struggling, you are in a position where you can just get him out, or you can send him down. You don't need him in the big leagues right now. But if he does good and he looks like the old Rosenthal, the old MLB All-Star Rosenthal, you just got an all-star pitcher.
It's wrong button. It's not that big of a risk for the reward. Low risk, high reward.
Right. I think it's a great spot to be in if you're the Giants. Okay, you know what? You didn't even toss that much money at him either. I think it's a really good spot to be in.
4 or 5 ain't none the same thing.
Nah, San Fran don't give a fuck. They're fine with that money. So we also got the bad news. Some good news in Miami, but the bad news is fucking bad news. So the bad news is Jazz Chisholm broke his back from carrying the entire team the first half of the season. Oh wait, no, that's not the injury report. Jazz Chisholm has a stress fracture.
That was funny.
Jazz Chisholm has a stress fracture in his back. So, yes, from carrying the fucking Miami Marlins for the first half of the year. He hurt it. He's the only one that can hit. And if you don't believe me, they just scored a fucking run for the first time in 37 innings. They just hit a homer. They hit a homer for the first time in a fucking week. And it just took them.
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
They just had to go to the road. They just had to go to fucking like Philly for all my means. I don't understand. And now they don't have Jazz for 6 weeks. I'm not going to lie. Miami's in a spot here. This is not a good spot to be in. I know they're not a top contender.
Hey, let me break down the spot for you. Here it is. See this envelope right here? I just drew in the. We're gonna take that envelope. We're gonna mail it in. We're gonna mail this season in. Done.
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
I mean, Jesse, if you're Miami, what else could you even do?
There's nothing I can do.
All you have is young pitching right now. You have 2 to 3 pitchers in the starting lineup, and that is really the only focal point of anyone watching your baseball team.
Yep.
Miami, every year you get pieces and everyone gets excited, and by everyone I mean me and Tyler, and then halfway through the season we're sitting here like, But anyways, player of the week is Freddie Freeman, and it's strictly for one reason. In his last 25 at-bats, he's got 17 fucking hits. The man is just raking right now. He's hitting .640 in this last week, 4 home runs, 5 doubles. His OPS is over 2.06. Fuck me. Freddie Freeman is absolutely raking right now. All of this started about a little over a week ago, once there was a little bit of drama with his agent and him even wanting to be in LA and Atlanta, and people were starting to question the old Freddie Freeman. And then Freeman kind of just shut the fuck up and then hit 17 for 25 and .680 with 4 homers and 2 doubles and 2.06 OPS. That's what Freddie does. He doesn't need to talk his shit. He just needs to come in and hit. And that's what he does. So, player of the week, Freddie Freeman. Shout out to him. I want to just say that today is a great day because this could be the start of something that needed to happen. And the biggest reason why I would say that is because once I actually saw the shift, once I saw how it was built out, and I'm going to show you just a little photo right here, how that is built out, anywhere in that white right there, you cannot enter. The infield, it is off limits. You must stay outside of the white, meaning that is how the minor league is going to be doing the shift to start it off like that. I saw that, and
low A ball in Florida only.
Low A ball, my bad. But then I believe that the talks would be to start there And then if it went well, then to gradually move up throughout the league.
Correct.
Okay. So I want to start off by saying that I like this, and I think that this will be good, but this is all just first impressions.
So who can't go in there?
The second base and the shortstop, depending on what batter and what shift.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that base hits up the middle are either going to be a lot easier, or another thing I realized is you might see a lot more diving plays, because a lot more plays that would have just been routine, you got to fucking dive for and you got to full extend for. So maybe we'll just see it. You know what I mean?
So you could still shift. You just can't stand right there.
Correct.
So you're gonna have a shift on, but you're just gonna be standing on the edge of that thing. It's 2 steps to the middle if they hit it right there. You're just not gonna be standing right there. You'll have to move to it. But you could still shift. You just can't stand there, or you can't shift at all.
No, you can't shift at all. Like, that's the rule. But I'm saying,
then why would they have to draw it out if you can't shift at all?
That's the one thing I was just about to say. I was about to say.
So I'm thinking they're saying you can still shift. You just can't be here. You can't shift to the complete middle. You can shift towards the middle.
High slice shows area where fielders are not allowed to stand on the field. Everywhere else is permitted. So yes.
Okay. So there's still going to be shifts, just areas you are not allowed to shift to. Okay.
Base hits up the middle. Well, that's stupid. If I'm a pull hitter lefty, I'm still pissed. If I'm a lefty pull hitter, I'm still like, what the fuck? I guess that's
most lefties are pull hitters.
That's true, but I guess there's going to be pros and cons to this. But at the same time, I'm just interested to see how this goes, and I'm fingers fucking crossed that it goes well.
We'll see how.
But now we get into the football with the spiral.
Yes, we are going to get into the football with a spiral. I don't know why it's described like that, but we'll go with it. Starting with Kyler Murray. He is the biggest thing in the football news right now, signing a 5-year, $230 million contract after basically blowing their playoff run last year. It wasn't all him, but let's just say that he had probably the worst game of his career in the biggest game of his career, and then goes and signed a 5-year, $230 million deal. By the way, Josh Allen is on a 6-year, $260 million deal. So if you think those quarterbacks are even slightly comparable, I have no idea how the fuck he managed to get Josh Allen type money. I personally don't think that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, he's holding out, and honestly, Arizona probably is in a tough spot because let's be honest, you guys get made fun of, Arizona. You guys get made fun of for being the team that consistently has to keep drafting quarterbacks because you keep drafting the wrong one. And hell, the quarterback that you drafted, Rosen, is now gonna go be the quarterback for the Browns. So, he was a top 10 pick, and he didn't work out. So I feel like they're kind of in a spot where they had to pay him because they got to keep him. But
I just not the Cardinals.
The Cardinals just notoriously have to draft quarterback because they keep fucking up, and I feel like I feel like they're not even fully convinced that they didn't fuck this one up too. They just are sick of doing this over and over and over again. So they're like, all right, I think Kyler might have had a fluke. He's a good quarterback, but he just had a fluke game that one game. It'll be good. But, hey, Aaron Rodgers is league MVP, and he can't get past the NFC Championship. So if that's what you want in Kyler Murray, that's might be all you're going to get. That's my 2 cents on it.
No, I want to go to Jesse. I want to go to the Arizona guy.
I think you could have gave him less guaranteed money. That's my problem with the contract.
For sure.
$160 million guaranteed. I think there should have been a little more incentives involved with that, because when the game mattered, it looked like he didn't give a fuck. That's my problem. When y'all was in it, the Rams make it tough. The Rams are a hard team, but you literally looked like you couldn't give a rat's ass if you were there or not. And I just feel like that's poor sportsmanship and not the kind of teammate you want. So you need to earn your money if you're going to stay here. And nigga, you was about to switch to baseball, and you've been doing this whole fiasco of a trip just to get a contract. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure they lost Chase Edmonds. I don't know what the team's going to do. It's not looking too hot. But it is Cliff Kingsbury's third year as a coach. Him and Kyler have been on the same page year one. We'll see where it goes. But damn, that's a bad contract.
I think the only thing that I really just don't like is the fact that this motherfucker is just, I don't think he knows what he wants, or the way that he does it, just I don't like it. It's almost like when everything's going well, oh, he's smiling. He's so happy. Kyler just says, nowhere else he'd rather be than Arizona. Remember when they started off the year 7-0? Oh, my God, this man Kyler was on top of the world. Even when he wasn't playing, even when he was injured, he was still fucking happy at camps and, fucking on Twitter and shit. And then all of a sudden, when shit goes wrong, it's, I'm holding out for a contract. Do I even want to play football? Maybe baseball's the move. I feel like when shit is good, he's happy, but when shit is bad, it's all like, I'm gonna start rethinking shit. Or I just don't like how he does that. It's all, when it's good, it's really good, and when it's bad, it's really bad. There's no middle ground with him, at least with that I'm seeing. So I don't like that. Luke, you're an Arizona guy. What's your 2 cents?
Cool.
Yeah, that's about the most Luke answer I think we could have got.
I've been dealing with shit the last fucking 10 minutes or so. Okay.
So no reaction at all on this.
Huge. I'm happy he's back.
Huge.
Boom.
Not just huge and cool. It's cool and huge.
Amazing.
Well, there's your insight from Luke, everybody. Moving on to quick college football. Georgia's head coach signs a 10-year, $112 million extension.
Oh, Kirby.
And good for you, Kirby. Get that money. He becomes yet another college football head coach that gets a whopping
highest
contract.
Paid in the league.
Yeah, and that's just how it keeps going. Every single contract is the new highest in the league, and the market is insane. I feel bad for these people that own teams nowadays. You're spending so much money, and you're not even guaranteed anything like success. Any like guaranteed success. It's just, I'm gonna throw $500 million at this guy. It's a little iffy, but well, we're gonna go back to the NFL here. Starting with the Jets, they have a new stealth black look they're coming out with this season. What are our thoughts on the stealth black look here? This picture shows you the stealth look.
I fuck with that face mask too. That shit works really well. When I first saw it,
Picture from sportlogos.net. Also,
but then after I took a second look at that face mask, and I fucking really like how that green's like a metallic. Oh my God, I think it's beautiful. That's just me.
Luke, you like this? I mean, it's not going to make him better at football, but, you're muted also, so you know that. There you go.
That's very true. But, it still looks clean.
It does look clean. Jesse, any comments? The Jets will be the Jets. They will look a little bit more better. A little bit more better.
Maybe they'll look better, play better, because they're looking better.
They are looking better.
Yeah, speaking of looking better, I just want to say this before we get into it. I hate the Bengals, but they have my favorite uniforms right now. That is unbelievable.
The zebras, you mean?
The white helmet is unreal. That bitch is
zebra.
sexy.
I wouldn't call them zebra. Bengals have straight stripes.
I don't know, man.
Stripe.
At first look, I think zebra.
I don't.
It's no one's fault but God for making zebras white and black.
I think white tiger stripe. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see zebra.
I just think zebra initially. I like them. I think they're cool.
Those are insane.
But I think zebra.
I think those are some of the.
I think they should have just did the helmet. I don't know if they should have done the whole the whole jersey.
I like the whiteout. That's damn near. Hold on. I swear that's pretty much what the jersey is.
It's pretty close to the white jersey now.
I think it is.
It is.
Yeah. They
They
didn't change the jersey.
just added a stripe. They added a stripe. You have 2 stripes.
3.
Right?
I have 3.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
3.
and they added a stripe. Wait. Is that 3 or 4?
No,
3?
he said there was 3. There's been
Wait,
3.
yeah,
There's
then-
still
yeah,
3.
That's the same jersey, yeah.
It's just It's
Yeah, same jerseys. I was like, I feel like the jersey's same.
So they'll
I like
probably,
the helmet.
only just change the helmet.
But those are the newest, the 2 newest helmets that we have in the NFL.
Where's the
still waiting for
Lions at?
That's what I'm saying. I'm still waiting for the Lions to come out with one.
Yeah.
Where's that one at? But that's all we have for the NFL news. So we're going to jump into hockey. So NHL update here. The first thing we got to talk about, we talked about it last podcast, was Tkachuk was the next big thing on the market. He was the next guy that was going to be dealt. And he was dealt to the Florida Panthers. Tampa Bay didn't win the cup this year. Florida said, okay, we need to win it next year because Tampa didn't win it. Florida needs to keep winning it. So they said, we're going to go get Tkachuk, and you're going to do whatever it takes. So, Dylan, details.
The biggest details that I have acquired from this trade is that Tkachuk was traded over to Florida. He signed an 8-year, $9.5 million extension, while the Panthers star Mackenzie Weegar and Huberdeau were both sent over to the Flames. So I guess we'll start with Luke. How are you feeling?
It's not a bad move for Florida because they've been thirsty for a deep cup run, and they've been prevented that by Tampa Bay the last couple of years, because they've been dominating it. But this is a move that Florida's saying, we're going for it.
Yeah, I like this move a lot. I think this is a great move for Florida. I also think this is a good move for the Flames, who are in a rebuild, and you still actually got something out of it. I think the Flames are going to get a damn piece out of it. The fact that you got Huberdeau and another young star, I mean, hey, they got something, but that's not what's important.
You mean to tell me you really don't think they were going to get anything out of it from
Player-wise,
Tkachuk,
no. I
Tkachuk?
thought they were going to get a load of picks.
Hell no. You're nuts.
Because-
You don't understand.
Yeah,
you don't understand the NHL.
That's crazy.
You're nuts.
That's what I thought.
You're nuts.
Tkachuk
Did,
is
did you
way
hear
too
any?
much
Did you
value.
hear about? Did you hear about what the Red Wings package, if they sent over a package, would have had to include? If we were going to get Tkachuk, it would have had to include either Bertuzzi or Verana, and then it would have had to include either what's his name, Philip Hronek or Philip Zadina, one of them as well.
That works.
And then a first-round draft pick next year, and then one of the prospects that Yzerman drafted in the last 2 years.
I do Verana and Hronek.
Honestly,
That's a lot.
that is a lot, but I would have sent that.
Yeah,
I would have sent it too, but I mean, they would have had to accept
See
it.
ya,
And
Verana.
obviously, they liked
Peace.
the Huberdeau package better. So I
Obviously,
don't know
you'd
if he
rather-
sent it over or not.
You would
but-
obviously want Huberdeau over Verana, but
Exactly. I mean, yeah. With the Red Wings trade, they'd be getting more prospect pieces rather than established. So they probably just went more with the established because they knew Tkachuk was established and they didn't want to completely kill the franchise and enter a rebuild by the end of next year. But I mean, hey, it's always possible. So we'll see what happens there. But Tkachuk dealt to Florida. Jesse, you got anything on this? Columbus Blue Jackets signed Laine to a 4-year, $8.77 million deal. After just signing Johnny Hockey, Columbus Blue Jackets lock on to Laine for another 4 years, $8.7. Is Columbus going to be problematic, or do they just have 2 good hockey players?
They have 2 good
They
hockey
just-
players.
Am I over speculating? Because I think, yeah, 2 good hockey players.
Let's
I
be
don't
real.
know.
How
How much can they flip the table?
Laine hasn't been really that
He's
great
good.
of a hockey player the last couple of years.
I know.
He kind of
Just
fell off
good.
the wagon going to Columbus.
Winnipeg
was-
Laine was a
he was-
different Laine.
He was a superstar in Winnipeg. When he came to the Blue Jackets, I don't know what the fuck happened to him. He fell off, but it looked like he started waking up a little bit.
His mid-career crisis.
You know, if he wakes the fuck up, they could be problematic. Not making a huge deep playoff run, but just problematic.
Yeah, I have to agree. When Laine was on Winnipeg, he was one of my favorite, if not top 3 in the league. I just loved him. I don't know if it was the flow and just the last name and all of it, just watching him play.
It was a combination.
It was a combination of the pieces, and Winnipeg was just a fun team to root for that year. But Laine became one of my favorite players in the league. So when he went over to Columbus, I was honestly a little pissed because I was like, what is he going to do in Columbus? And he hasn't really done anything yet. So I kind of would have to agree with Luke, where when you put up the numbers that he had put up in Columbus, it's been a significant drop in Winnipeg. It's been a significant drop now in Columbus.
I agree, and I definitely think that Laine always he reminded me of that blonde guy from Goon 2.
Yeah,
and that always cracked me up because I'm like, dude, you look just like this badass like motherfucker that just punched people in the face. But the Sharks hired David Quinn as their head coach, former head coach of the Rangers. The Sharks are just, we know, in a very slow rebuild situation here, and head coach is part of it. So David Quinn has been assigned the new head coaching position for the San Jose Sharks.
Best of luck.
Good luck to you, David Quinn. Yeah, best of luck, my guy.
That's how the Sharks make me feel.
He's probably good if he was the head coach at Boston University. That's a pretty damn good hockey program.
Yeah, no one said he was bad.
Now
It's just,
The
NFL's
Sharks are
different,
bad.
or NHL's a different game. So we'll see how he can adjust. We're gonna move on now to the NBA update. We only have one thing to talk about on the NBA update, and that is Miles Bridges facing some hefty charges here. Miles Bridges is looking to be convicted for, I believe it was 11 and a half years, if convicted, for the allegations against him, essentially. Dylan got the details here. I'm going to flow.
Yeah, it is 11 years and 8 months in prison if convicted on domestic violence charges. Essentially, this man went from a max contract to a max sentence. That shit is bad, man. That shit is not good. 11 years. That is basically your
nowhere
NBA
near max
career.
sentence.
That's your NBA career. But he wanted to be a rapper anyway, so his first day out song will be pretty good.
Not a funny situation.
Sorry.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Exactly. Who the fuck is this guy?
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm going to draw a little bit of light to it because it's a sad, sensitive topic, and he's going to be out of the league for a long time. But look, here's the thing. You can't be a fucking idiot like that, bro. You got to understand the rights and the wrongs in the world. And if he wants to be an idiot and put his hands on women and think that he's going to, get away with that shit, I have the power to come out here and clown his ass. And I feel like that's how I feel. So, honestly, I think that this man deserves the joke, deserves the hate, because there's no excuse for the fact that you had to beat the shit out of your girl. Sorry.
I heard the hate first, then I felt like you were joking, but it didn't feel like you were joking on him. But
It was half joking, but there was a little bit of like fuck you in there because I don't fuck with that. I feel like most people do.
No, people don't.
And I would say that for his
It's just
NBA
crazy.
career,
You could look at his Twitter, and he had a tweet about treating women right and making sure that we take care of our women.
right? God, man.
Like a couple months ago.
I mean, I think
Yeah, that was Mother's Day. Don't get it twisted. All right. Moving on. We got some UFC coming up in the podcast. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Taking a quick break in the action here to tell you about sixpackcoverage.com. Make sure you guys check out sixpackcoverage.com because, hey, that's where you find our podcast as well as other sports, finance, food, travel, fitness, and entertainment podcasts for your own personal needs. You know, whatever you're into, hop on there, check it out. Sixpackcoverage.com also has a shop where you can shop for all your favorite six-pack coverage wants and needs like flags and t-shirts, including the Ride the Tide t-shirt, which is out now. Be sure to check out sixpackcoverage.com today.
I'm talking in guap, now I'm speaking it fluent. When I hit the road, I won't leave till I do it. Acting out of hand, I'm like, be what you doing. We started off good, can't believe that we ruined it, yeah. I tried to fix with a sewing kid, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah.
All right. The only thing of news we actually kind of have is just really a quote from Charles Oliveira. He says, "The ground is his turf, so he'll definitely try to do that. But if he does, will he want to bring down the best submitter in the history of the UFC? I'm not sure. We've seen that he is that type of fellow who tries to take the fight to the ground, but that doesn't hinder me at all." Well, I think it kind of goes both ways there, because I don't think he's hindered at the submissions, and I don't think Charles is hindered that he wants to take him down to the ground to smash him.
I agree.
I just cannot wait for that fight, because I think that's going to be the most exciting ground game fight I'm excited for.
It will be the first time in the history of UFC that Tyler will be okay/excited watching a fight that goes to the ground.
Who the fuck is that guy?
You might be right by that, to be honest.
You got to get me to watch it first.
Oh, you will watch
If
it.
I already know that's what it's going to be.
You would miss that fight just because of that?
Because I know what I'm going to be watching. I'll be asleep by the time. I don't know. We'll see.
What if that's what everyone thinks and now Oliveira comes in?
Then I'll see it on the Sports Center. I don't know. I'm conflicted.
Well, moving on to the London preview tonight, even though we previewed it last time, so we're just going to go over it really quick.
I want to teabag him, lad. I want to teabag him like it's Modern Warfare 2.
That's Paddy Pimblett, who is taking on Jordan Levitt.
I have bad news, Luke. I have to interrupt you. Drake threw $2,000 on Paddy Pimblett.
2,000? Okay, that's not one of his stupid, ridiculous, million bets. So I don't know.
My bad. 2 million.
Oh.
And the payout's 3.7.
How'd you say 2,000 when it was 2 million?
I saw the 2. When I said 1,000, I was like, "There's no way Drake only threw $2,000." Yeah, 2 million.
Well, I guess Izzy proved that the curse doesn't exist. So
that is true. That is true.
But he also did it in a boring fucking fashion. So fuck you for that.
Yeah, Drake also threw that much money on a fucking minus $500 bets.
Yeah, Paddy is minus 275 for this fight.
Okay, Drake's cutting it in half now, so he's really testing the curse this time.
He might be trying to actually win some money from the money he placed down. But the next fight we have Jack Hermansson and Chris Curtis going up against for the co-main event, and honestly, I'm still on Curtis, even though I've thought about it because this is a coin toss, but I'm still sticking with Curtis. I'm sticking with Paddy too. And then, what do you got, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm still riding Curtis. I honestly went back and I did the same exact thing that you did. I looked at the fight promo, I looked at Hermansson, I looked at the last fight that he had, and I started riding Hermansson. Then I did the same thing with Curtis. And everything flipped, and I went, all right, no, okay. Hermansson's sick, but I kind of think Curtis is sicker. That was the honest to God truth of it. I think that Hermansson has a high chance to win, but I would ride Curtis just off the fact that I think he has a better chance.
Okay. Jesse, you got any thoughts on this fight?
Oh man, I just think it's gonna be a really good fight. I don't know who's gonna win if I'm keeping it honest.
It really is a coin flip.
Like, call it how you see it.
Facts.
All right, for the main event, we got Curtis Blaydes, Tom Aspinall, and honestly, this is kind of a fucking toss-up too.
It is, but I have Tom by knockout.
I do have Tom by knockout.
So we're all Aspinall.
Blaydes still scares me though because his ground game is fucking lethal.
Last time we were in London, Tom had an amazing fight performance, and I just hope that I see an exact replica of that tonight.
Oh, I do too. I hope so too. I just know Curtis Blaydes is a monster on the ground, but he's slow as fuck. So
You can't sleep on him, but at the same time, we know he's a monster on the ground, but Aspinall has never been taken to the ground.
yeah, I know. So this is a huge test. I think he does get taken down at least once, maybe twice, but it's not going to be a lot. But he's still going to come out on top.
But you think this is going to be the night where he finally gets taken down at least once?
Dude, but if Blaydes gets a hold of him, man, dude, I think so.
You want
at
the
least
truth?
once.
I want the truth.
When it comes down to that takedown defense, my boy Aspinall about to be cookies.
I wasn't ready.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Hey, man, I'll give him all the credit if he does, because I want him to win. I would love that because I don't want him to even chance to get taken on the ground by Curtis. But Curtis is a huge threat on the ground, and it scares me.
Oh my god.
Cookies.
Where'd he go? Pulled him
Those
out
cookies,
of
those cookies were looking tough too. That's all I gotta say.
And he eats.
You saw the
I'm
cookies.
gonna teabag him, lad. I'm gonna teabag him like it's Modern Warfare 2.
For the uninitiated at home, what is teabagging?
I'm gonna squat as close to his head as I possibly can without the ref shouting at me.
Okay.
Just squat up and down like I'm on Modern Warfare.
Ah,
All right, boys, with that being said, thanks, Patty. We're going to get into the midweek shenanigans recap. Luke, I know that your midweek shenanigans pick was actually set to happen tonight, so you're just going to have to make another pick for the
pick. I
weekend
don't
best
give a fuck.
bets, and we'll just get to both of yours on the next podcast. Dylan, your midweek shenanigan, how did that go? I finally won my first one. Thank you, everybody.
Miami made it.
I needed that.
Miami made it a 9th consecutive game of not getting a home run and a 5th consecutive game of not getting a run. That's what Miami did. So mine did not hit because Miami didn't know how to play baseball. They forgot about the offense part. I get it. It's confusing. There's two sides. I get it.
Hey, look, Detroit forgets about it all the time, and we just pretend like offense is not a part of the game, and we're just only supposed to have pitching. But Miami does the same thing, and those are my two favorite teams. Anyways, yeah, we'll move on here and get into the weekend best bets. Luke, you don't have one to recap, so we'll start with you for the weekend best bets at least, and let you kick it off here. So, weekend best bets, here we go.
All right. Well, I might just do it and just stick it on the same fucking night and go Tom Aspinall, 2nd round KO.
Okay, another KO. Look at that. Fellas, the fight night, it has to be banging if Luke wants to be winning some money. So if you're on Luke's side, you're praying for a good fight night tonight. Dylan, we'll go to you next. Weekend's best bets. What do you have for the people?
All right, I have a little 2-for-1. I would take the Cleveland Guardians to beat the Chicago White Sox and take Tristan McKenzie over 5.5 strikeouts.
Say that one more time.
Guardians to beat the White Sox and Tristan McKenzie over 5.5 strikeouts.
All right. Over 5.5 strikeouts and a dub. That's the parlay you got from Dylan. We move on to the Wanderer. Weekend best bets. Jesse, give the people a lock.
Now listen, this hurts to say it, but it is indeed a lot. And it's plus 280, at least if you're on FanDuel. So we're going to make some money. It's motherfucking Joe Ryan, 6+ strikeouts, and the Twins to win.
Okay.
I like that.
This man is fading the Detroit Tigers, and there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing wrong with fading the Detroit Tigers. So I think that's a great idea. I'm going to go over to the New York Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles game over on FanDuel. I'm going to go to hit a home run. Aaron Judge, even though he hit 2 yesterday, I feel like he is just stroking right now. So I'm going to go Aaron Judge to hit another home run and the Yankees to win. That right there is plus 273, and that'll get you a decent little payout there on that little same game parlay. And that is my weekend best bet. And those are the boys' weekend's best bets. Thank you for joining us for weekend best bets. Before we absolutely fluff off out of here and get the rest of our weekend started, does anybody have anything else they would like to bring up?
JT Barrett has joined the Lions offensive staff. And that is, yes, the JT Barrett you are thinking of.
From Ohio State, JT Barrett?
Yes.
He came to Michigan?
He came to it.
Oh, this just happened, like right now.
Yes. He's the offensive assistant.
I'm here for it, actually.
And he played for the Saints for a little bit with Dan Campbell. Just a little bit.
There's the connection. I was waiting for it.
So, yeah, I like that. And also, Matthew Stafford finally got an Instagram, and his first picture is with that ring flashing.
Hey, my guy.
It's his only picture.
Hey,
my
guy. You know what?
It's the only picture he needs. He should just never post again now.
That man Stafford finally got a ring and is still an 85 overall in Madden.
Yeah, you know what? We were going to talk about the Madden 23 quarterback ratings today, and I decided not to piss myself and everyone else off. So we're not going to talk about it.
Because at the end of the day, it really doesn't
matter. Yeah, shut up, Jesse. Joe Burrow is ranked way too high on that list. Way too high.
Icy cold.
No.
Bro, Herbert is in a 90.
Bro, Stafford's the 10th best quarterback in the league. He just won the fucking Super Bowl.
I think the ratings are a little goofy. But that's because I think they put too much space in between everybody. In the 5 up.
Yeah, that's true.
Like 85 to 90 is the 10 to 5 range, but like Stafford starts at an 85 and then Brady ends at a 97 at number 1. It's just weird.
It is weird. I think they're not that fucking like different in skill level and like attributes and all that, but the way they make it, apparently they are. But we're not going to get into any of that. So that being said, I believe that's all we have for you guys today. So have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. We will see you guys next week. This was the slowest week in sports, and we still managed to get 2 good pods off for you guys. So next week, we'll be back with more sports, more news, more going on. Recap of Paddy Pimblett absolutely destroying this man. Hopefully we get to see a teabag. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you check out sixpackcoverage.com so you can see our podcast, other podcasts, the merchandise that you see us wearing on the podcast from time to time, our merchandise. There's so much to check out on sixpackcoverage.com. So make sure you check out sixpackcoverage.com today. Luke gets his Jesus hair out of the way. You can see that six-pack coverage pocket tee right there. I'm wearing the dark blue pocket tee right now. Great quality. I wear this shit every week, and it's amazing. So check out sixpackcoverage.com today to get yours. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, Paddy Pimblett, take us out.
I want to teabag him, lad. I want to teabag him like it's Modern Warfare 2.
For the uninitiated at home, what is teabagging?
I want to squat as close to his head as I possibly can without the ref shouting at me.
Okay.
Just squat up and down like I'm on Modern Warfare.